director and writer of this really fun, quirky, kind of edgy film called Raising Buchanan. And this is Bruce Dellis. Thank you so much for joining me.
Well, thanks for coming out and talking to us.
Tell me a little bit about the synopsis of the film, because it's really fun and quirky.
It's a little different. It's the story of a woman who kind of historically makes pretty bad decisions, and she finds herself in a position to steal the body of President James Buchanan, who is considered historically to be the worst president so far. And once she tries to ransom him back for big money, she finds that nobody's particularly interested in getting him back.
What was your process in writing this particular screenplay? Did you have a specific direction for this?
Well, kind of. It kind of spurred from Amanda Melby. She was interested in working together, so she had called and said, hey, do you have anything that we can work on together? So sort of together we sort of pieced together what this ended up becoming. So we wanted to do something where it would be a good showcase for Amanda's talents, because she's been around for a while and she needs to be out there. So we were able to piece this thing together pretty quickly. And then it took a while to, of course, get everything together to make the film itself.
It sounds like such a fun piece. What are the plans after you are done with post?
That's always an odd consideration, because it seems like the game has changed considerably over the last several years. I'm not sure anybody knows exactly what the new normal is for distribution and exactly how to go, but I think what we'd like to do is to get it out there into the film festival circuit to get it maybe a little bit more visibility, and then work with distribution from that point.
And what about casting? Because you have some really notable people in this film.
We do. We're very fortunate, even though it's a slightly fantastic aspect of it. President Buchanan does make an appearance throughout the film, and he's played by Rene Auberjonois, who everybody may recognize from Star Trek and The Little Mermaid he was in, and Benson, of course. And he's a Tony Award-winning actor, and he's known primarily by me and a lot of film geeks of working with Robert Altman earlier in his career and doing some great classic films there. But he's always done quality work, and he's been kind of a legend in the film community, so we were thrilled to have him on board. It's
wonderful. And you yourself, you also have some awards under your belt. Is this correct?
That's correct, yeah.
Come on, tell me about it.
I was an Arizona Filmmaker of the Year from the Phoenix Film community. That was kind of nice. And I got a few Rocky Mountain Emmy Awards. Been nominated for a bunch of those and won a few of them. And then by doing short films and sending them around to different film festivals and stuff, I have a lot of those as well. But this is my first feature, so this is all kind of new ground for me as far as writing and directing a feature.
I'm having so much fun just watching it, and the set is a very upbeat, fun set, and I'll let you get back to your job. And Bruce Dellis, thank you so much for joining me.
Well, thank you for talking to me.
Hi, it's Lynette Carrington from Scottsdale.com once again on the set of Raising Buchanan, and joining me now is the President Buchanan himself, Rene Auberjonois, who you might recognize from Star Trek Deep Space Nine, Boston Legal, The Patriot, on and on, many years on Benson. And we are so thrilled to have him here in the Valley to shoot. Tell me how this role came to you initially.
The script was sent to me, and I read it, and I loved it, and I agreed to do it, and I'm thrilled to be here working with these wonderful people. Bruce Dellis, who wrote this wonderful script, is directing, and Amanda Melby, this wonderful actress, is creating the leading role. I may be the title character, but I'm not really the star of this.
Now, Bruce was mentioning that Buchanan wasn't necessarily the most well-liked president that we have had. We'll just skip all current commentary on that. But what kind of research did you have to do for this role?
Well, first I have to reject the word not. I think he was probably liked. He was a nice guy, apparently. He just wasn't a very good president. I think it was a function of history and being in the wrong place, the wrong place at the wrong time, and so he just couldn't rise to the challenges. I find him actually quite a sympathetic character. very sad what happened under his watch and after his watch. He was the president right before Abraham Lincoln, and it was under his administration that the Civil War really happened, and that's not something that you can live down all that easily. I forget the premise of your question, actually. What did you ask me first?
That's okay. I was just trying to find out what kind of research you had to do.
Research. Yeah. The truth is, probably like a lot of people, I did not know a great deal about Buchanan, except that he was not considered one of our great presidents. And so I did due diligence, and I went to Wikipedia, what else, and other sites, and read a lot about him. And that's one of the great things when you play a historical character that you may not know all that much about. You add a lot to your education, and that's what playing this role has offered me.
In watching the feed from your performance, you bring such an air of prominence, and your theatrical training really comes through in what I see. It's beautiful.
Oh, well, great. The language is elevated. Bruce has written. It's one of the things that drew me to the character. The language is elevated, as I say, and really hard to learn at my age, but I've managed to do it. And when you're doing that kind of language, the real challenge is to try and make it go trippingly on the tongue, and have it seem organic and natural. And so that's been a challenge, but it was a challenge that I wanted to have, and the script afforded it.
And well, it's been lovely to watch you work, and even when I was very young, I used to watch you on the show Benson,
yes,
where you were, I don't remember exactly how you said it, but it was Clayton Endicott III was your
yeah,
kind of like your tagline. And I understand just moments ago you had heard that Mr. Robert Guillaume passed away, and that's such a loss because he was such a light and a very outspoken figure, if I remember correctly.
Yeah. Robert Guillaume was a man of such tremendous dignity, generosity of spirit. I know it's easy to go on and on when someone passes, but he lived a long, rich, creative life. He rose from difficult circumstances, and it was my great honor to have worked under him, and his love for the cast, and his he was just a terrific person and a great talent. And I can't say it's a great loss because he had a great life, and he did what he had to do, and he did it, and he was I'm devastated.
That's a big loss. I loved that show, and as an ensemble show, it was outstanding, absolutely wonderful. And obviously, on a film such as Raising Buchanan, this becomes sort of like your little family. So this is also another fun ensemble cast. What has it been like working with this cast and crew?
Well, they're terrific, and when any kind of creative experience. It's always very intense, and I'm here briefly, but in a very short time, because you take a lot of risks as an actor, and I know people go, oh yeah, what kind of risks you take, but the truth is, you step out on the ice, and you're always at risk of falling and making a fool of yourself, and with the support of this company and these wonderful actors and crew, and Bruce, who wrote a wonderful script and has been incredibly supportive and focused as a director, it's been a great experience.
Well, thank you so much. Again, it's been such a pleasure watching you work. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Auberjonois.
Beautifully said.
Thank you.
Thanks
Thank
a
you
lot.
so much. And we'll be back one more time with Amanda Melby. Hi, I'm Lynette Carrington from Scottsdale.com. Joining me now is Amanda Malby, and not only does she have a wonderful role in this quirky new film called Raising Buchanan, but she is also the executive producer. So tell me how you found out about this project, and then tell me a little bit about your character of Ruth.
Well, I've known Bruce since I moved to town in 2004 and always admired his writing and his directing and his short films. And so I wanted to collaborate with him on something. So he wrote the film with me in mind, and we've been getting it done.
It just, in listening to you run your lines, the dialogue is very witty and somewhat cerebral and fun. Did anything about the character of Ruth really strike you as something that you could really sink your teeth into?
Well, I usually get to play the girl next door, and I think it has something to do with the cheeks and the squishy nose. So Bruce wrote this pretty much against type for me. Ruth is very cranky and has an anger management problem and is very dry, and so it was a really lovely challenge to take that whole character on, which is not quite my real personality. So.
And in your role as Ruth, you have, obviously you have lots of different places you're shooting and lots of different things that you're doing. What was it about the character that really resonated with you and you thought, yeah, I can do this?
Well, I think as actors, we all want to play interesting characters, and I'm particularly drawn to flawed human beings because I think we all, nobody's perfect. And Ruth is definitely flawed. So, but she also has redeeming qualities, so I think it's a nice balance of making mistakes, but hopefully learning from the mistakes, and it's fun to go through that journey as an actor.
Then on the flip side of that, you are also the executive producer, so that's sort of like a nebulous term sometimes. What are some of the things that you've been doing as executive producer on Raising Buchanan?
Well, it started by me talking to Bruce, and saying, hey, let's make a movie, and he wrote it, and then, so that was the first part, was getting the script, and then doing the fundraising and hiring the other producer, Joe, and, hiring all of the key people, and getting the project done.
And in a perfect world, where do you see this film going? Like, if you could have your way, what would you see for this film?
Well, I'd love the whole world to see it, of course. We're going to start out with film festivals and hopefully sell it from there and get onto movie screens and in people's homes. And
just from the scenes that I've seen so far, it looks like such a fun, quirky romp of a film, and I'm really excited for you. So Amanda Melby, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And I'm Lynette Carrington from Scottsdale.com. Oh, and what about her? We're looking at shoes.
Oh yes, I wear these in every single scene.
Every scene. Wow.
Yep. Everything, no matter if I'm wearing a dress or pants or what.
Those Doc Martens.
They are very well loved ones.
Adorable.
Yep.
Cute.